Good evening and welcome back to another If It Wasn't For My Knees. So we've got some more Euro 2020 chat, and tonight we're joined by CT, Uche. Welcome back, Uche. Aki, GJ, and Mikey D. So let's get started and review the quarterfinal matches that happened this weekend. Right, which one are we starting with? Who's controlling the banners? Aki, I'm looking at you.
You're looking at the wrong person.
Not prepared at all. All right, let's start with.
He's been in IB, hasn't he? So
let's start with Switzerland
against
one. Spain.
I called this. You man laughed at me. I said it's going to penalties. Remember?
You did.
Yeah,
you thought Switzerland were going to win.
Don't worry about that. I said it's going to penalties.
right. You didn't call nothing. They lost.
You know, we're giving me stories about Spain's going to dominate and da-da-da. I said it's penalties.
They did dominate.
Yeah, but it went to penalties, though. It still went to penalties.
So they
didn't pap like you guys said.
Who's in the semi-finals?
Well, just
Switzerland, apparently.
Well, I'm hearing is stories.
Anyway.
So, Spain 1-1. They took the lead. They looked like they were going to run away with it. I think it was like the first 10 minutes they scored. 28 shots on goal for Spain, 72% possession CT. It did go to penalties, like you said, but come on now. That was one-way traffic.
I didn't watch the game. I didn't watch it.
All right, at least you're honest. Unlike some people, Aki will try and tell you that, yeah, Switzerland played really well. Well, then, who actually watched the game?
Slander.
Well, of course, Mikey. Go on then, Mikey.
What do you mean, of course? I watched them all now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Of course, because you're a football fan, not like some of these guys.
Yeah, I actually thought that Switzerland did very well.
Yeah.
Missing Xhaka in the middle. They're a difficult team to beat. Spain, obviously, if they had a striker, they wouldn't have had any bother in any of the games so far in the tournament. But they've got Moreno and they got Morata. And so they create about 25 chances a game. And they scored 5 in 2 games, but maybe that's their tournament goals kind of done. But it'll be an interesting game in the next round.
Yeah, and we're going to come to that.
Yeah.
Did anyone else watch the game?
I saw this game. In my
travel.
Yeah, I watched it. I actually watched the game. I was just wishing for what I was. The best thing that can happen was Switzerland to win on penalties. Started so well, but in terms of the game itself, it's very clear. Once the red card happened, that Switzerland were trying to survive, not very well. It would just be hilarious because Spain had so many chances to win the game, even in extra time and everything. But yeah, I think they flopped it. Just flopped it. Got the first penalty missed, and they should have just scored theirs. And they were just messing it up. So I knew if you miss, you can't be missing 3 penalties in a penalty shootout. That's just crazy. But yeah, Spain utterly dominated and deserved to win. And it would have just been funny because the lack of strikers is frightening how bad their strikers are. It really is frightening. The chances that you just think they should have missed. But yeah, unfortunately for me, they went for penalties. And their keeper clearly read all the penalties very well, which is the right thing to do for when defenders are taking them. So yeah, well done to Spain.
Said through gritted teeth. Aki, GJ, did you watch the match?
No, I was at a leaving do at work. I was getting stuck into a Vindaloo. But I was following the score on my phone, and when when Spain went 1-0 up, I was thinking, yep, done and dusted. And then I said, wow, got a ping, 1-1. And then no more pings. So we, every like 15 minutes, whenever the conversation in the curry house was getting a bit slow, I was checking on my phone. I was thinking, no more pings, 1-1. And then I got in the car on the way home, and Switzerland were winning the penalty shootout. And then I kind of jinxed them because as soon as I started listening, they started missing them. And then Spain won, which I was actually quite pleased about, because originally I wanted Spain out, but then I was thinking I want Italy to have a harder game in the semi-final. So I'm hoping for a war, Italy-Spain, but we'll come to that.
We will indeed. And Aki, did you manage to watch the match?
No, I was keeping track of the game, but I went out to get food. I actually thought it was going to be a draw. I had a little double on this game being a draw and the Italy game being a draw. So it didn't really surprise me, to be honest with you. I thought Switzerland were quite a solid team. But yeah, I think Spain, from what I've seen in this tournament, they've got everything other than strikers. So it's anyone's game, really. But yeah, we'll come to that later, I guess.
Cool. All right, let's move on to the next one. Go on then. Who's doing this? Aki. Uche. All right. Belgium versus Italy. So as I mentioned in the thread in one of our WhatsApp groups, I predicted an Italy win. I was right. The game didn't quite. I mean, Belgium again. They were kind of sitting back and trying to hit Italy on the counter attack. Italy deserved to go into in the lead, as far as I'm concerned. Fantastic first goal by Barella. Absolutely fantastic. I think, was it you, GJ, that said if it was Messi or somebody like that, people would be raving about it. Excellent goal.
Yeah.
But hang on a second. Like, what part of Belgium were trying to play counter attack? Wasn't it just Italy pressing well?
I mean, I don't know what their tactics were, but the game panned out as Italy dominating the ball and Belgium getting passed on the counter attack.
In the first half, I think Italy had a lot of energy and they were out pressing Belgium. But in the second half, it was majority Belgium, if you ask me. They had the biggest chances in this. They had like at least 2 big chances for Lukaku that they should have put away. I don't think Belgium went out with the intention of playing counter-attacking football. In my honest, I don't know how you've come to that conclusion, if I'm honest.
I mean, that's not what I said, Aki.
You did.
I said that's how the game panned out. I didn't say that was their tactic.
Well, no, but that's not how. But I don't know what game you were watching. I didn't see them play
counter-attacking
football.
The one where Italy was dominating the ball.
Yeah, but
and then Belgium put on a counter-attack. That game.
What? Okay, can you name me some chances they created through the counter attack in that first half? Then
yes, Lukaku had a couple of chances.
What, in the first half?
Yes, in the first half. Because actually, I watched the highlights before I came on tonight as well, just to refresh my memory. So yeah, those chances.
It didn't strike me that they were playing counter attacking football.
Listen, whether they were playing counter attacking football,
they were quite slow.
They were counter attacking.
No, I actually thought they were playing quite slowly, personally. And in that first half,
they weren't. No, they weren't.
I think
they were making fast transitional breaks via De Bruyne through the midfield to Lukaku. They are very direct and quick on the counter. Italy had most of the possession, and Italy had control of the game in the first half. Belgium had counters. That's what they had. They didn't have, they weren't boxing Italy in at any point. Nope. So that's my perspective.
Thank you, Mikey. And our resident Italian, Uche.
I was enjoying that one. Oh, lovely. Well done, Aki, mate. Like the gunshots there. I was very confident about this game, man. I've been telling you guys, I'm trying to tell you, we'll handle Belgium. Certain people were trying, Belgium was going to do.
Did you just say we? Did you say we?
Belgium. You know what I'm saying? Get handled. Yeah. So for me, it was from the start of the game, Italy dominated the game. Pressed them very well, had the control of the ball, and they had no other option but to play counter-attacking football because there was nothing else to do. They had no other option. That was it. Counters or nothing. That was really it. So for me, the biggest disappointment of that match was that silly defender giving them a complete way into the game. There was no need for it. towards on the 45th minute. Game was gonna be 2-0, clean slap, nothing to be worried about. And all of a sudden, you give them life to 2-1. So that was really, really irritating to see that happen, because to me, Italy completely deserved the 2-0 advantage. And then they came back into the game because obviously at 2-1, you have something to hold on to. But Insigne, man, I've been on this guy's case, because I'm like, I was telling my friends, like, look, he's gonna cut into his right. He always cuts into his right, and then he cuts into his right, and then he does that. It's like, wow, okay. He finally does what he's supposed to do. But yeah, 2 fantastic goals up for England. Italy was absolutely magnificent and completely deserved to go through to the next round. But like Aki said, there was that gilt opportunity with Lukaku, which he probably should have put in the back of the net. And that could obviously, at 2-2, you can change the game at that point. But for Italy was fantastic. The subs they made was really important. And, the people that came onto the game to see it out. I don't know what that referee was doing towards the end, where he added, 6 minutes, and ended up adding another 2 minutes. I'm like, what is this man doing? What is he doing? So I was not very happy with that. But yeah, Italy completely loving it. And of course, I missed the pod last time when I was also gassed about Italy. But, it's all good. But, I knew they would be here. No matter what, we'll be here. And it's now time to deal with those Spaniards.
We'll come on to that as well. I had a couple of comments.
Sorry, I thought that was quite.
There. Go on, Aki.
Thought it was quite a harsh comment there from Aberwan. He's saying Lukaku showed why he's seen as a Sibla killer, but I think any striker can miss chances personally, and he has scored in some big games for Belgium, so I think that's quite a harsh comment.
Yeah, but I laughed when Uche was talking, not because of like the content on Italy, but because he reminded me of that Lukaku miss. Like, that was ridiculous.
He had his Tims on in that game, didn't he?
He had Tims and parachute pants. No, that's not acceptable.
And in the predictions, you and Aki both said that. Well, you said if De Bruyne starts, then Lukaku's going to murk that defense.
Well, you know that I said Belgium were going to win, so that didn't happen.
We know that. But we're saying that if De Bruyne played, you said he would have been firing up Lukaku.
He'd be feeding Lukaku.
Well, he did. He did. I know. Yeah, we know. That's my point. He fed him, but the guy flopped.
Yeah.
That's the
what you guys. While on that favorite topic of mine, how did you guys find that fella, the one that you said his name before, Lukaku? Was he good? World class good to you? Did he look world class to you guys?
He looked good to me.
I didn't. That's not the question I asked. Let me repeat it.
Did he look bad?
Did it look world class to you? Oh, it's very specific.
Wait. What are you talking about?
You're drawing out KDB from that game.
Competition. Did he look world class?
Are you drawing out KDB from that game?
I'm asking a question. Did he look world class?
He always looks world class. There you go. He always looks world class.
Okay.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't always look world class.
What did you see? What did you see in his game against Italy that says that he isn't a world class player?
I'm just going to say he doesn't always look world class, but against Italy, you can't go after his performance against Italy.
No, you can't single him out.
He was good. He was good. You cannot single him out, especially since he was carrying an injury from the other day, and we don't know if he was 100% fit. Although I've got to say, his performance looked like he was definitely on it. And if Lukaku had his shooting boots on, then KDB would have had 2 assists.
Okay.
So you can't be digging out.
What's that saying about uncles and aunties that you like to give me that Allen line? Give me that Allen line.
If my auntie had bollocks, she'd be my uncle.
That's the one. Give me that Allen line.
Allen.
You're telling me stories, mate. That's what you are. A good one.
Yeah, but it's a team game. It's a team game. You cannot.
Listen, there was nothing De Bruyne did wrong in that game.
I didn't say that.
Very
good. He
looked very good. It's actually mad. For you to try and come on here and bring out KDB is a madness. And you missed the last pod. And I told the guys, I'm glad that Belgium got through because you were going to try and get on KDB, even though he came off as a sub in the last game.
No.
If Belgium went out, you would have been trying to draw him out. What did he do? How come Belgium are out? And then he has a good performance against Italy, and you show your colours.
This
is like poetry.
it's just interesting to me that the guy always gets injured and when the team needs him to play. And thankfully, he was fit enough to play this game. And according to you, he looked world class and he was doing world class thing. If you had a good striker that would put the ball back of the net, he could have won, I don't know, best player of the tournament. But I guess he can't win it now. So let's.
He was definitely better. He was definitely better against Italy than he was against France.
Oh, was he? Did you like his French-France game? Was he any good? World class.
I know what you're getting at. You're basically saying when he was injured, you're saying he was KD Bottler. You're saying he weren't up for it. He don't fancy it. That's what you're getting at. That's what you're getting.
I just want people to comment on the game. That's all. But the man's
got a little agenda there against KDB, man.
Everyone wants to know: is Uche suggesting KDB isn't world class?
Absolutely not. You're getting it right again. I'm gonna say it. Let me say it again. Absolutely not. Right? Is that clear enough? I said
he's absolutely not world class
when he was needed against to knock out. He was getting knocked out. Right? This is the Belgium last time to win the thing. I want to see a madness. Did you see a madness? If you think you saw a madness, great. Let's move on to the next topic.
Wait a minute. So
Uche, say what you really think.
Wait, let me just say this. So you're only world class if you don't lose a game, basically, because you always have to bring your team forward. No. You said he's going out. You have to show you're world class.
Yeah.
So what player has always shown that they're world class? Because there ain't a player that's been unbeaten.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I wanted to see what madness he can do because that's what his team needed him. His team needed him, and for me. Like I said, that mistake, for me, I was screwing about the mistake big time. Because if it wasn't for that mistake, I didn't see them scoring, right? And I was proper screwing that they gave them.
It wasn't a penalty anyway.
Well, it doesn't matter. Well, GJ, you should have done that tackle. There was no need for that tackle.
No, I agree.
Hang on a second. Raul and Mikey earlier on said Belgium had some counter-attacking chances in that first half. Yeah, and now you're saying they didn't have any chances of note, but it can't be both of them, can it?
I don't agree with that.
So talk us through these chances then.
Yeah, do please.
We already said Lukaku and De Bruyne.
No, that's second half.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Aki.
Talk us through the chances in the first half, guys. Talk us through.
I just explained to you De Bruyne and Lukaku.
You haven't explained it.
I'll explain. Do you want me to commentate on them?
You called out two names.
Goes past a couple of players, hits the edge of the box, left foot shot, go into the corner. Great save. Lukaku stops up. Lukaku cuts in on his left foot, bottom corner. Great save. Does that remind you?
He wasn't watching, so why? I
did watch the game.
I've literally
I had money on this game. So.
Can I just say, I would call a De Bruyne one. I wouldn't even call that a chance per se. It was a good shot. It was a normal save. If the keeper lets that in,
it was a good save.
It was a good save, but I expect a keeper of that standard to make that save all day, every day. That would be extremely disappointing for that to fly past him.
And the Lukaku chance, he kind of did like a step over where he was almost falling back.
Over. He's falling over, basically.
Yeah. And
there's no power in that shot at all.
Nah, exactly, because he was falling over.
It should have been 2-0 half time, man. No long thing. It should have been 2-0. Just give him a chance to the game. And it should have been 2-0. That's what really annoyed me about it. Because of course, Belgium are going to come into it. We're going to give someone a goal like that. So I was really worried. And of course, Spinazzola got injured in the second half as well. And that allowed them to push forward. Because obviously he's been one of the best players in the tournament. And it was just a shame.
Who predicted Italy go through?
I did.
I think
I wanted them to go through because it sets up.
You wanted Belgium. I mean,
it's personal preference.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. I wasn't sure what you thought on it, CT or you, Aki. Okay, fair enough. So we all said Belgium, pretty much.
I think I said penalties.
No, I wanted Italy to go through. Because I won that final. I won that.
Oh yeah.
I think the second half was more of a case of Italy kind of played really, really well in the first half, but they exerted most of their energy in the first half. So Belgium were always going to come in. I think Italy can't press like that for 90 minutes. There's no chance.
There's no need for them to press like that because that's the aim of the game. You can't expect pressing teams don't press for 90 minutes. You know this. You follow Liverpool. It's not possible.
I'm just saying. So Italy had a good first half. They got their 2 goals, and then they kind of allow Belgium to come back into it, or Belgium work their way into it.
Yeah.
Wherever the two it was really.
And
And Belgium had those two chances. Had they scored one of those two goals, we could have been talking about a different game right now. But obviously they didn't. Lukaku should have scored, didn't. And the story really. Italy looks strong though, to be honest with you. I think they could go on to win it now, or they should go on to win it.
Yeah, I think the left back situation has put some doubts in that because they're gonna see Emerson Palmieri, and let's just say that he's no Spinazzola, shall we?
Let's just say that, yeah. Okay, let's move on to the other quarterfinal match. Got a comment in from everyone to say that Spain will deal with Italy.
What else do I expect from him?
I hope not.
We
What else
will.
do I expect from him?
We will
Hope
come.
it's
We'll come to
great
the
for him.
previews. We'll come to the previews. Okay, which is the next match?
Oh, sorry, it's me. Yeah.
Czech Republic against Denmark. I mean, there's not a lot to talk about. Denmark took the early lead. They looked like they were going to run away with it. Yeah.
I'm guessing Denmark dominated. I didn't see it.
Denmark opened up and dominated for the first half, but then Czech Republic came into it.
Into the second half.
There was probably about 17 shots each. It was a decent match.
It was a decent match, and Czech Republic, you know, they're always dangerous from set pieces. They got some tall breaders in their team, and they're always dangerous. But Denmark, they scored a couple of lovely goals, especially the one with the outside of the boot, that cross.
That cross, beautiful.
What a cross!
That was lovely.
That was perfection. But that's pretty much it. You know, Denmark deserved to win. Better footballing team, so bring them on.
Bring them on. Okay, so let's talk about the other game, the big one, right? So Ukraine versus England. Now I'm going to start with you, GJ, because it was you that I said it should be a comfortable win for England. Was it you? Yeah, and you said it probably won't be.
No. I said 3-0.
Shocking.
Did you?
Yeah. I said 3-0.
It's got to be
No, it was Aki. It was Aki who said
It's got to be Aki.
That's when I challenged him to the bet. Remember? Remember the bet?
Yeah, that was
right.
it.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
3-1. 3-1.
So I gave him the reason.
To be fair, it was a tight game in the first half.
Behave yourself.
It was.
Complete control, bro.
Ukraine had a couple of chances towards the end of that first half. And then Shaw was like a million miles offside for Kane's goal. So they got away with one.
Right.
But to be honest with you, I think in the second half, England just powered their way through. If you think about it, most of England's goals were headers, like set pieces or crosses and headers. It wasn't like they played their way through them or anything like that, really. And
except for the opening goal.
Yeah, except for that Sterling goal. Kane's goal. But
both of Kane's goals.
I think Ukraine flopped it. Essentially, yeah. I think Ukraine flopped it. I think Ukraine flopped it. No, as in, they had no belief. They didn't have belief that they were going to win, and you need to have that belief that you're going to win. You do.
You need to have good players as well.
So they're going to have a tougher game against Denmark because Denmark will have that belief.
Check the comment out. Headers are allowed, bro.
You're not allowed.
Yeah.
We're criticizing the headers now.
I'm not saying they're not allowed. I'm just saying that, at the end of the day, they were just like majority headers, really, set piece. It's not like it was a boring game. Like no one here can tell me that it was an entertaining game. Was anyone here entertained by that game?
Yes.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
Playing some good stuff.
Yeah.
Playing some good stuff. In certain spells, we're playing some good stuff, man. I like
compare that to Belgium versus Italy. Come on, there's no contest.
Unless you're an England hater,
because Ukraine weren't good enough.
I'm not an England hater. I'm just saying it wasn't exactly.
For reference, guys, me and Ro watched the game with this guy, and he was supporting Ukraine. Let's say how it is.
Hey, explain the what's his name? What's that? Who's the one who scored the header? The centre back, Maguire. Aki, explain what you was calling for the Maguire header.
What when he barged him in the
You
back
said,
with his...
you said that his arm was offside and it was putting the goalkeeper off, so they should have called it offside.
His arm was offside. This guy.
I was joking, obviously, but he did nudge the player with his elbow. It was like, you know, the dark arts. But, you know, give credit where credit's due. You can only beat what's in front of you. But Ukraine didn't show up. That's what I'm saying. You know,
They didn't show up.
They're not good enough.
What the hell?
Come
Show up from where?
I didn't.
When have they showed up?
In the second half, it just kind of evaporated. In the first half, they let in that early goal. Then they had a couple of chances towards the end of the first half. You thought they were coming into it. They could have made it a lot more nervy for England. That's all I'm saying. You know,
they were broken. That second goal killed them because they knew when that second goal went in, they were done. They were still tired from their last game when they went to penalties against Sweden. So they had lactic acid in their legs, and then that second goal, they're thinking, you know what, we are not gonna. There's no way back from this. So the heads went down. I agree with you. The heads went down, but that's what happens when you're a strong defensive outfit like England are, and you've got some good players up front. You can mentally break down teams as well. Nothing wrong with that.
England got the second goal straight after half time as well, so that kind of just killed it all.
Yeah.
Just before we move on to the previews, unless anyone else wants to add to that.
I definitely want to add to that. What do you mean?
wait.
I want to hear what he's got to say.
So Mount came into the team, and so did Sancho. Do we think that they deserve to keep their place for the next game? Because personally, I didn't think Mount did very much in the game.
Oh, don't start this again, man. Look, I'm tired of this stuff. This keeps happening every week. This is tired.
Is that a no?
You're actually not tired. Like,
it's amazing.
I'm come to a point where you're gonna just say, give it up and say, arise, Sir Southgate, and just be quiet. You might not like it, you might not appreciate it, but just tell it as it is. You guys are every time England are playing in this tournament, you criticize every decision he has made. And every single time, he's been correct. Without fail. Every single time.
Real only asked the question.
People were talking about one of the things was,
kind of what I'm here to do.
One of the things was, I want to see Sancho play. Yeah? Saka was injured. He brings in Sancho, right? Did very well for himself. He played Sancho against the odds. Yeah, he did. Saka against the odds before that. He did very well for himself. Mount came into this game, did more than enough for himself, right? People are calling up for Grealish. Grealish came out as a sub, did very well for himself in the pod that I missed and set up 2 goals, right?
Options.
Nah, man. I mean, seriously.
So basically, Uche, what you're saying is whoever Southgate picks is doing well. So
Listen, Mikey, listen.
What's Southgate can have an opinion?
No. Fair enough. I mean, of course, you're right, Steve. It's not like you shouldn't have an opinion. What I'm saying is, after the fact, there comes a point where you have to say, this manager, I might not like him. I might not even like the decision he's making. I probably don't agree with the decision he's making. But he's getting them right. I'm talking about tactically. He's so impressive. He is so impressive. Going to the back 3 against Germany worked. Coming back here, the people that played, I thought they were great. I thought it was a fantastic performance. Scored really early. Great ball by Sterling to set up Kane.
Yeah,
scored
brilliant.
Shaw was fantastic as a left back since he's come into the side after the whole debacle of playing Trippier left back.
Trippier. He played a left back, and look what
I know.
There you go. Exactly.
But the logic, whether we like it or not, has been sound. As in, these guys play the whole Europa and having the extra day, blah blah blah, and then playing against Croatia. But that was a group game. When it mattered, he's playing the people we expect him to be playing, which is, like you said, a left back at left back. And I'm just saying, look, this is the nitty gritty. I've always wanted and asked for one thing. I said, England, follow the Greece model. Be as great at the back as possible and try and win the game. If that means 1-0, if that means the most boring 1-0 you've ever seen, no one cares. GJ wouldn't care.
We got a comment from Mr. Czechs, which I think is about Mikey here.
Exactly.
There were still some nutters complaining Grealish didn't play versus Ukraine.
Listen, let me explain to Mr. Czechs and Uche.
Okay.
Right. If England lose to Italy, like you think they're going to, and they play Mount, will people have a right to say Grealish should have played instead of Mount?
If they lose, right? You're saying
Yes, correct.
Well, that's gonna happen regardless, isn't it? Unfortunately,
Right.
I
So
actually
basically, what you're saying is, as long as England win against these teams that they should be beating, there can't be any complaints about any selection, any formation, the style of play, anything.
honestly, Mikey,
That isn't how this works, because
honestly, but I maintain. Don't forget, I'm not just saying you know this. I'm not saying this after the fact. I was saying this before. Like for me, tournament football, especially when you get a path. You even said it the last World Cup. You get a certain path that was clear. You gotta get to the absolute max. Now, as you know, against Croatia, to me, you gotta find a way, man. You're not gonna get a better chance to face a team like Croatia for a chance to make it into the final. Just like no matter what I say today to preview this pod for the next game, England, I don't care what you say. There is no excuse if you get bashed up by Denmark. Not because I'm dissing Denmark. I'm saying you're not going to get a better opportunity to make to the final of a major tournament. So you're right. If you mess up, whoever gets played, I don't care if it's Grealish, I don't care if it's Foden, I don't care whoever. If they end up losing, of course you're not going to give props for that. If you get to the final and lose to Italy, and Italy are playing the way they're playing, fair play, I would say personally. Because to me, I don't think England are better than Italy, but that's just my opinion.
We'll see you there, mate.
I'll see you there.
Back to Roy's point, Mount needs to come out of the team.
Thank you, Mikey.
I agree with that.
Thanks for answering the question, Mikey.
Mount can do no wrong. He doesn't do anything in the game, and he'll play and play and play. Grealish will come on and produce an assist a minute and not get any game time.
So we've got a comment here.
If you watch the last pod, I did explain that, you have to rate Southgate because he's getting the results. But like I said to Uche a minute ago, the minute England lose, that's when everything comes to pop.
No doubt.
You didn't play Grealish, who is clearly a better player. You didn't do this, you didn't do that. And that's what's going to come to fruition. Unless it's coming home.
But Grealish and Mount are completely different players. So it's not like they're going to be replacing each other like for like. Yeah, so they're not like for like replacements.
No, they're playing in the number 10 position.
They're playing in the same position.
Different types of players playing in the same position. One will give you different things. Grealish gives you quality. Mount gives you less quality.
Energy. No, he gives you energy. He kind of runs around a bit more.
Grealish doesn't. Grealish retains the ball more than Mount.
Well, actually, I've got to say something that you got to again credit. I personally, I was surprised by this, and this is my own admission. I think I said it before. I thought he was in love with Foden, and how he darked Foden is quite impressive as well. Because I thought he was in love with. I thought he would be one of those players he wouldn't drop, and he's just dashed him nicely. So again, I think for me at the start of the tournament, someone asked me, I would think that Foden will probably play regardless of bad form, and he's just dashed him as well. So even someone like Sancho brought him from when people wasn't playing. I just think for me so far, Southgate, to me, it's been exceptional. I really believe that. It's been exceptional.
I just want to touch on what Mr. Trex said here. He goes, Grealish does not close down like Mount does. There was a very good interception Mount made just before half-time when Ukraine were cutting down the left flank, and then one of their guys cut it back for a Ukrainian player who was just about to bang it. And Mount, he foresaw, he had the intuition to see what was going to happen, and he ran back and nipped the ball.
I remember.
I mean, that's, I don't know if you remember that moment, but I mean, that's one of the things. Like Mount, would Grealish do that? Would Grealish have the desire to think, you know what, I'm better this way, that way? Yeah, all right, you guys are there. Whereas Mount will go both ways. We know he hasn't got the quality.
Yeah, but
I don't
know if I'm misunderstanding Mr. Trex's point about closing down. Closing down is usually pressing from the front, not tracking back. True. It's different terminology. I'm not sure whether I'm misunderstanding it. But Grealish closes down in terms of he presses forward. You won't get the tracking back like you get from Mount and Saka and those types of players.
I agree with this comment. I think Grealish is a luxury player, and I don't think England can afford to have him at the moment to start from as a starting 11. He's going to be more of an impact player. When you need someone to come on to change it, he's the kind of player you bring on. But England don't play possession football, so it's not like we play like, or England play like Man City. So they play more like
You
a
say that, but look
mid-table
at the teams that England
team.
have played.
Huh?
You say that, but look at the teams that England have played. England have had more possession.
In pretty much
So you
all the
can say
games.
about possession football, but they've had more possession.
Yep.
Yeah, but you expect that though. To be fair, you expect that against the team so far.
Exactly.
Hang on a minute.
Well, that's what I said.
Against Germany, we had more possession, and I didn't expect that.
Oh,
Germany.
yeah, okay, fair enough. Did they have more possession? Yeah, that's unexpected. I agree with that. Okay.
Okay, so England 4, Ukraine 0. There we go. Shall we move on to semi-final preview? So the first one that is coming up tomorrow night, is Italy versus Spain. Right, Uche, since you've been talking about starting 11s and not allowed to question the manager. Who started for Italy? Who started for Italy?
I think Emerson comes in for Spinazzola, which is just sad, really. I saw a clip of them chanting his name on the team plane, just sort of encouraging the lad. It seems like he's going to be out for at least 4, 5, 6 months. So that's quite just sad, really. It's really, really sad. But I don't think he's going to. That should be the only change. I thought Chiesa did really well on the right. I would keep him. Whether he plays Berardi, I would personally keep Chiesa there. Unfortunately, the same worries is still there, but thankfully on the other side, Spain has got something as well to worry about. Immobile is not the same striker he was last season, and unfortunately, he could come. But thankfully for him, while he's missing, maybe the other clowns for Spain will be doing the same. So, but honestly, if Immobile of last season was the Immobile this season, I think Italy would be so much more impressive. So I'm still hoping that somehow he pulls it out the back, but I'm always worried that who's going to pull the ball back of the net. But Barella and his signature shows that, okay, there is quality there, which I didn't expect. I'm expecting a game where Italy will dominate this game or try to. But Spain normally controls possession. And everybody knows this. So this is going to be very interesting in how you go about trying to press a team that does very well with the press. But yeah, I'm still obviously going to fancy Italy to win this game. I'm hopefully going to be there. And yeah, there we go. Italy to win. I think 2-0 actually.
2-0. Okay. CT, you're on the Italy hype train with me. You want Italy to face England in the final. Is that what's going to happen in this match? Are they going to beat Spain?
Yes, I think it's going to be. It's not going to be an exciting match at all. It's going to be very, very cagey. Both these teams are going to try and dominate, and they're just going to cancel out each other. So I think it's going to go to penalties to this one. But I fancy Italy to do it. Well, Italy should do it because it makes a big, spectacular final from when we meet them. But I expect Italy to slightly dominate, but I expect the game to be very cagey. I don't see an out-and-out winner in 90 minutes at all. I don't see no 2-0 that Uche's saying. I think it will go all the way to penalties and Italy will win.
They don't score goals, man. Don't forget that.
Immobile is not firing. So
yeah, true. Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're going to need that kind of 4-point, that striker up top to try and do things, and he ain't doing it. So we'll see.
We will see. And GJ, Uche mentioned, actually CT as well mentioned about the press. Italy like to do it. Spain like to play around it. Who do you think is going to win the match?
I think I'm quite confused by CT's statement actually, because we both agree, because you just said it as well, that both teams are going to look to press. Mm-hmm. So if both teams are looking to press and hunt down and win the ball, I don't see how it's going to be cagey. I think it's going to be quite a good game because, you know, both teams are looking to go on the front foot. Whereas I find the cagiest games are where teams are kind of thinking, you know what, we're happy to retreat, and everyone's thinking, yeah, whatever, and the game just meanders along. But I think both teams are going to be looking to dominate. To answer your question, I think Italy will win in extra time. I want to see a war. I want to see both these teams go flat out. I mean, I'm talking a war. I'm talking Mussolini against Franco. Yeah, bring your armies. Yeah, bring your armies. But Mussolini against Franco, man. I just want to see both these teams go all out. I want to see their legs get shot with energy, sap them. fatigue them, cramp up the lot.
Yeah.
Bring it on. Bring it on.
We want extra time, to be fair. Definitely.
Damn
100%.
right. Damn right.
100%.
And Mikey, so Morata's playing up front. He's facing the two old guys, the Juve guys. They will know him quite well. Do you think he's going to bang in this game? Who do you think is going to win?
I actually think Morata will probably score in this game. He should be familiar with them from training. I don't know. It's going to be a tight game. I'll back Spain to win.
Oh, wow.
As I should be.
Why are you worried?
As an Italy hater.
Why are you worried? He was always going to say that.
If you think about yeah, kind of. But Spinazzola's out. And I don't think Spain have been as bad as people have made out. And I said this on the last pod, actually, that people keep trying to make out that Spain aren't anything good in this tournament. But actually, they're pretty decent. They create shed load of chances, and it's just Moreno and Morata have missed them. So I think that Morata against familiar defenders, he might find it a bit easier.
Yeah.
But so a tight game, nevertheless, and it might go to extra time.
A question for the England fans here, right? Who do we want to go through? I'm not asking you non-England fans, all right?
I fancy our chances beating Italy rather than Spain. Because if Spain, the way they hang on to the ball is a bit different to Italy. Italy are a bit more open. You can probably get that ball back and counter them. But Spain seem to be very, very measured. They'll make you run around. They make you lose a lot of energy, and we can't afford that. We can't afford to be chasing that ball for 90 minutes. So I'd rather Italy, to be fair.
And Mikey?
I don't know. Neither of them have a striker that will score. Spain create a lot of chances. And although England haven't conceded, well, Italy create a lot of chances as well. So although England haven't conceded so far, those are the two teams that you wouldn't want to play against in terms of the chances that they're creating in the tournament.
I see like this.
Just on that, Insigne is the second top player in the tournament in terms of creating chances for teammates. 12 chances, and he didn't play the first two games, so he's a danger man as well.
Yeah, it is a tough one. I see Spain as having the better individuals, but I see Italy as being the better team, and probably just for that reason, I think I'd rather have Spain in the final, because I think Italy, I think we can counter-attack Spain and probably get them in terms of set pieces better. I think Italy just look like a complete team. They haven't got many great players, but they just look like a solid team. And if they go 1-0 up,
I don't know.
They didn't look too solid against Belgium. Belgium had a few chances, but my 2 pence worth is I think first of all it's interesting, but both managers have kind of followed a similar philosophy in a sense of they've not just picked the biggest names from the biggest clubs in their respective nations. They've kind of picked players from lower league clubs as well. So there's a bit more togetherness really from both of them, both Luis Enrique and what's his face.
I feel that.
But I think it's going to be a tight game, personally. It's going to be interesting to see which style pans out. I wouldn't be surprised if this goes to penalties, if I'm completely honest. If I was William Hill gives me another free bet, I'll be sticking it on penalties.
So who are you going for?
Toughy.
Whoever beats England in the final, that's what he's thinking.
I think... To be honest with you, they're both really bad at penalties. I'll go with Italy on pens.
Italy on pens. Okay.
Yeah.
So we've got a bit of a mixed bag then.
Either team will beat England quite comfortably.
Well, we've got a bit of a mixed bag there, and it was actually just to go back to the stat that I did just now. It wasn't Insigne; it's actually Verratti who's the top creator for Italy in the tournament. So. Yeah, so there we go. So a bit of a mixed bag in terms of predictions. In the chat, we've got a bit of a mixed bag as well. We've got Orabi one saying that Spain will deal with Italy, and then Houdini saying that England are going to get England to play Italy in the third place playoffs.
No chance.
With a wink.
Chance.
Mr. Trex has said that Italy are a better team, but Spain's possession, full possession.
I agree with that.
Else. So
I agree with that totally. It's a different beast, man.
Different gravy.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about the other semi-finals happening on Wednesday night. I mean, do we have anyone here other than Aki who probably wants Denmark to win? Is there anyone here actually thinks that's going to happen? Because I can't see it. I think it's going to be a comfortable victory for England, 2-0, maybe even more.
I don't think it'll be comfortable. No way.
I'm gonna go 3-0.
Be comfortable, Uche.
And the reason why I think it won't be comfortable is on one thing only. They're back at Wembley, and these people are gonna give them hell if it's 0-0 at half time, because they think some of these fans, they think that 4-0 should be the order of the main course of the day.
Yes, he's talking about
you. For me, if Denmark knows they're playing very well, they can give them problems. I hope I'm wrong, because I want England to be in that final. There's no question of doubt in my mind. But honestly, I am concerned. If it stays 0-0 at half time, I think Denmark could win this game. And so much so that I'm actually going for a Denmark win. And it'll be
I think one of the worst things to have happened to England was to have a game like Ukraine, where they've won it.
Absolutely.
Wait, are you confident? Are you confident that Denmark win?
No, of course not. I want England.
I was gonna call you out for a little bit.
Yeah, man.
We'll speak offline.
Sorry. No, I'm back. But
welcome
it's
back,
it's one of the worst. It's one of the worst things. One of the worst things that could have happened to them, in my honest opinion. It's going to make them more likely to get beat rather than less likely.
Yeah, that's my
opinion.
That's my concern. 100%.
I'm not going to say that England will get beat. I think it'll be another tight game. I reckon it'll be a lot tighter than the Ukraine game. Denmark have been getting progressively better, and they've also got that thing that happened to Christian Eriksen to kind of drive them on. They've also won the tournament as dark horses in '92, so. You know, anything can happen.
92, bro.
Yeah,
behave yourself, mate.
Everything is lined up for TV. I just think like Wembley, that crowd is such a huge crowd as well. Everybody expects. I just think there's a lot of people who are following all these lower league teams, and they just think, oh yeah, we beat them 4-0. Denmark, who are they? We're gonna give them 2 or 3. And I hope it. Like I said, I'm predicting Denmark because I feel that England fans will do the opposite. They don't support their team, is what I'm trying to say. They just go there expecting. So
does Southgate strike you as the sort of guy who cares about being popular when you look at some of his team selections?
Absolutely not. And I hope he plays on. I hope they don't. Yeah. I hope they ignore thing. Listen, GJ, we're on the same path. I hope that the guy continues being exceptional that so far he has been, and they just ignore those jokers that in the stands and don't feel the pressure and just go and do the job. But after what I saw was so comprehensive, and I'm seeing nonsense being written as usual, I could see people rocking up on Wednesday expecting something, that this is a knockout competition. Do you think Denmark are coming there to show up just because they're just happy to be there to take pictures? Are you joking or what?
Absolutely not. No.
So I can see a situation where Denmark is thinking, make this thing tight. It's not like England are relentlessly attacking. We're a decent team, they're a decent team. It's half time. These guys are going to start baying for blood, thinking that you guys should be winning 1 or 2-0 already. So I'm concerned, man. I'm not going to. About one England, I'm concerned.
Taking shots at me. Yeah, I'm laughing about 92. I am. We won the World Cup in '66.
This is what I'm saying. I wasn't even in when the colours were there. I mean, that was a long time ago. And yeah, you're laughing at people on 92 like it's some long time ago. 66, bro.
92 is long, man.
Well, it's not long.
92 is a long time.
There is a twist of fate about Denmark, because when they won in '92, they didn't even qualify for the tournament. They only got in because Yugoslavia went to war, and they obviously exactly. Yeah, and they snuck in, and then they won it. And then obviously, what's happened with Christian Eriksen? It's just weird. It could be fate again, but
you don't think so?
I think we'll win, but I'm no way do I think it will be like 3-0 or anything like that. I think it's going to be a very nervy, tight 2-1 win in 90 minutes.
Depends. If England get an early goal, then
I was going to say
it changes the pattern of play.
Yeah,
I kind of think that there'll be a bit more euphoria behind England, and that this is probably different to kind of other England games. It's a semi-final of a European Championship.
At home.
It's at home.
In England.
And I think that everybody is going to be behind. I don't think we're going to get to half time and people are going to be getting on players' backs or getting on the team's backs. I think that there's going to be a full force. You've seen the streets after an England win. The streets are mad.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't think the people that go to the stadium, unless you get a ticket, Aki, will be doing anything other than supporting England.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
I hope so. Honestly, I do, because I think that's the only thing that's worrying me about this fixture. The arrogance is already. I'm seeing it already. It's already started. People are chatting the usual high horse and thing. You haven't won anything. You haven't done anything yet. So just back your team, man, and let you get to the final. Just do it. Get it done. See, 3-0 win. See that? That's what I'm saying. 3-0. See that? See this?
3-0 after 70 minutes. What?
Hey,
first goal we scored after 70 minutes.
Yeah, I know. I saw that.
Yeah, it can happen though. It can
crazy
happen.
odds.
Denmark, if they go 1-0 down after 70 minutes, and there's only one thing they need to do, and they need to go on the front foot, and then England can counter them.
Yeah, fair
It'll be the
dues.
first time.
And CT, did you give your view on who's going to win?
England, easily.
Score?
I think it'll be tight, by the way.
I don't think it'll be tight. I think it will be. We're not going to concede either. I think it's going to be 2 or 3-0. I say it with my chest as well. 2 or 3-0.
England played Denmark in the Nations League, and Denmark won 1 and drew 1.
Yeah. Also, Denmark has scored 4. They beat Wales 4-0, and they beat Russia 4-1.
I think one of the things that might be a bit different with this game compared to the Ukraine game in terms of the goals that England scored against Ukraine, which 3 were headers, is that they've got quite big defenders. So maybe that might be a bit nullified. So England might have to find another way to win or to score. And they haven't really been, beyond the Ukraine game, they haven't really been putting the ball in the back of the net too crazily. So
they've got Lindelof. He's not that great in here.
They've got Kiara as well.
Yeah, Kiara's quite good. But that Kasper Schmeichel, I don't think he's great from crosses. He does flap a lot. He's not the biggest keeper either. I like what Mr. Trex has said there, though. I totally agree with that. We're talking about all these, the media, all these fans coming out being arrogant. It doesn't matter about them. It's about the players and the manager. As long as they've got their head screwed on, everything else is just background noise. It's background noise. It's background noise.
It shouldn't matter what it does to England players.
How do you know? Do you know the player?
All right, no worries. No worries. Carry on. I've said my
All
piece.
So majority of us are going for an England win. So it'll be England against somebody in the final on Sunday. Hopefully, we're going to be doing some sort of content for that game on Sunday. But there we have it. So we discussed all the matches. We're coming up to the end of the show, and we haven't done one for a little while. So it's time for highlight of the week. And as I'm speaking, I'm going first, so I can jack the best ones. I was actually going to say the young girl that's playing. I don't know how she's getting on, Raducanu, the English tennis player, 18-year-old. I don't know if she's winning. She lost the first set, I think. So I can't say that now. But that's a bit of a highlight. But I'm going to go for, just to give the other guys a chance, I'm going to go for Henderson getting his first goal for England. Liverpool captain, former captain of England. Come on, Hendo, bring it home. Let's go with Uche.
Undoubtedly, is Italy making it to the next round and playing that magnificent way they played. And also, I'm going to have 2 highlights a week because I was quite happy that England also made it through.
Okay. GJ.
Oh, God. I'm going to have to give it up for my man, Max Verstappen again. Just for a bit of balance with all this Hamilton loving. Is it the car? Is it what? But this guy, he's hitting a run of form in F1 now. And it's good to see because you can't let one driver have it all his own way. I got bored when Schumacher was winning it all the time, and I found it boring when Hamilton was winning all the time. Otherwise F1 becomes boring. So to be honest, I've only started paying attention when Verstappen won recently. I was thinking, okay, so we've got a bit of a battle on here. So I'll give it Max again. But Emu Raducanu definitely deserves a great shout as well. Definitely.
Do we know how she's getting on?
No,
Anyone?
I don't.
No. Okay. All right. Let's go with CT, and then we'll finish up with Aki.
Oh, wow. It's got to be an England player, obviously. So I'm going to go with Raheem Sterling, actually. I'm going to give him his flowers on this show because the English media and press don't want to give it to him. They want to give it to Golden Boy Harry Kane, even though Harry Kane is now scoring and doing well. But Raheem Sterling has proved from the start of the tournament that he's sort of carrying us through. He's doing what he needs to do. And I'm going to give him his flowers. So big up Raheem.
Good shout, CT. And we'll finish up there with Aki. Go on. Who's your highlight?
What about Mikey?
I did this last time.
Kick him out.
Hey, the quotas round here, bro.
PG, bro. You can't do them things.
I'll go with Denmark just because they're minnows in the footballing world. They've got a very small population size, and here they are in the semi-finals against the mighty Spain, Italy, and England, fighting it out.
Such a hater.
I'm not. How am I hating?
You mentioned England last in that whole thing. Spain, Italy, and
it's England who they're playing.
You know what I mean?
Isn't it?
Yeah. Well. Yeah. So give props where props are due. Big up Denmark.
Okay, and Mikey.
So mine is Lando Norris. F1, if you watch the race, then you know it shouldn't have been Verstappen. It was Lando Norris who was the driver of the day. Run off the road and still managed to climb back up. So yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks very much, everyone. So yeah, that's the end of the show tonight. We are going to be back on Thursday to review the semi-finals and then preview the final show. As I said, I'll just finish what I'm saying, then you can come in, GJ. As I was saying, we're hoping to do some content for Sunday, and then we're obviously back with the usual show next Monday. Go on, GJ.
Yeah, I'm on a golfing holiday this weekend, so I'll miss the show on Thursday because I'll be flying, and then I'll be missing the show on Monday because I'm flying. So I'm just going to get my prediction in quickly for the semi-finals. And
Tell someone who cares, GJ. Tell someone who cares. No one who cares.
I'm just getting my prediction in the final. I think it's going to be an England-Italy final, and it's going to come home, lads. It's going to come home. I think we'll do them 1-0 in the final. Come on. 3 lines, mate.
No, wake up, please. Wake up on that flight.
All right, we'll leave it there. England is coming home. They're gonna win the final, as GJ said. See you on the next show, everyone. Thanks for joining in, and thanks for the guys for taking part. If you're not aware, we're also on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. So if you watch it on YouTube, please like, comment, and subscribe. Also hit the notification bell because that helps with you knowing when we're posting, and also helps with YouTube showing our content to everyone else. So thank you very much, and see you on the next show.
Cheers, guys.
Yep.